This is Rick.
I was ripping a piece of wood, and I grabbed it right here, and it hit a knot.
He sawed off the tops of 2 of his fingers.
And it just zipped, and it was that quick.
His first thought?
I don't have insurance. How much is this going to cost?
The hospital gave him a choice. Reattach the middle finger for $60,000 or do the ring finger for $12,000. Being a hopeless romantic, Rick chose the ring finger for the bargain price of $12 grand. The top of his middle finger now enjoys its new home in an Oregon landfill.
Welcome back to Hardball. That was a scene from Michael Moore's Summer Shakeup, the rather heavy-handed SICKO. We're back on Hardball Plaza with the filmmaker himself. That was a metaphor, heavy-handed, lost a finger. Next question.
Hi, my name is Karen McClellan. I'm from Philadelphia. My question is, which presidential candidate do you think has the best health care plan so far?
Well, I would say probably Dennis Kucinich has the best plan in terms of, because he supports H.R. 676, which is the John Conyers bill that's before Congress now to create a National Health Insurance Act. And so the others so far haven't supported it. And that's one thing I think people can do is insist that the presidential candidates get behind H.R. 676, the U.S. National Health Insurance Act. And I think that would be a good indication of whether or not they truly support universal health care for everyone and remove profit from our health care system.
Michael, I don't want to build this movie up beyond what it is, although it's probably the most successful doc ever done. But you think Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin, and that inspired 2 million copies of that book went out. And it really got people feeling abolitionist feelings. And of course, Rachel Carson did Silent Spring and got people all excited about ecology and pesticides. And, is this movie of yours going to take a second step, besides having people go see it, eat popcorn, drink a Coke, and after it's all over, go home and talk about it? But what's the next step here that you envision? What's going to happen here?
Well, I have a lot of things on my website that people can do. The nurses' unions around the country, you can go to their site, the California Nurses Association, a whole bunch of nurses groups. There's a group called the Physicians for a National Health Plan. There's a whole bunch of different groups that are organizing around this issue, and people can get involved in those groups. The first thing they should do is demand that their member of Congress get behind this John Conyers bill, be a co-sponsor. It already has 73 co-sponsors. That's quite a few. And
how many people now don't have health insurance in this country?
Depending on what statistics you choose, anywhere from 45 to 47 million.
Is that 47 million voters?
Absolutely.
Why don't they vote as a block?
Well, 9 million of them are children.
I see. Well, that's the 40 that are left as adults. Do they have 40 million votes?
Of course. That's the great thing about this country, is that no matter how much money the pharmaceutical industry has or the health insurance industry, their executives, they get the same number of votes as you or I, 1, and there's more of us than there are of them. And as soon as we figure that out, we, the people of this country, we're going to be able to get the things that we demand and deserve, and we should have as citizens in a free society.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I'm from D.C. and originally Michigan.
Oh, that's a good name and a good state.
Thank you. We all know that doctors take the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. When you were talking to doctors for SICKO, did you find that many of them felt that they had done harm by being prevented from treating their patients?
Yes, and in fact, there's one doctor in the film who she then went to work for an health insurance company, and she's the one that decides whether or not the insurance company is going to approve an operation or not. And she felt that she actually caused the man's death by denying care, and she couldn't take it anymore. And a lot of doctors are in this horrible position where, let's say, you go into the doctor's office, you're in the exam room, the doctor decides you need this treatment. Maybe you need a referral to a specialist. He's got to leave the room. When he says, "I'll be right back," he leaves and he goes down and calls. He has to call the insurance company to get permission as to whether or not he could recommend this surgery, this treatment, this procedure. That's absolutely insane.
So he's lying to you. In other words, when he comes back, you're saying when he comes back to you, he's committing fraud because he's telling you something he wouldn't tell you as your doctor.
A doctor who takes that oath should be saying, this is what you need to do. But he doesn't do it, can't do it, because the insurance company says no. You have to go back.
So what's he say to you?
So he says any of a number of things. Here's a cheaper way to do this. Let me suggest this. Why don't we try a little bit of that?
What's this thing you talk about? They have this dodge.
18,000 people a year die.
Yeah, you said in the film that the doctors will say things like, "Oh, that's an experimental procedure."
Right.
to scare you away from it.
Right. Or they'll say, you know, the insurance company is going to claim that you had this as a pre-existing condition, and therefore they won't pay for it. And there's all this fine print in your, most people don't even read their health insurance plan. If you read it, you'd be surprised how many exceptions there are so that the health insurance company doesn't have to pay. That's the big, you saw the film, Chris. You know that the big point in the film isn't so much the people that don't have insurance, it's the people with insurance can't get help that they need, even though they're covered by these insurance companies, because the insurance company can't make money if it's paying out claims.
Are we reaching a point, you mentioned before, that doctors, the bureaucracy is killing them. Are we reaching the point where regular GPs, the kind of person, the family doctor, is going to say, I thought I might get really rich being a doctor as a byproduct of my profession. Now I'm willing to make a good income. I'd rather have national health than keep competing in this rat race. You know what they do now? They run you in and out of the office so fast because they got to get so much turnover, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's killing these guys.
It is killing them. In fact, we didn't put this in the film, but at one hospital, one university hospital, they have a time limit on the amount of time a doctor can spend. And there was this one doctor who kept spending more than the 11 minutes that he was supposed to spend on a patient. And eventually his pay got docked by the university because he had spent longer than 11 minutes too many times.
You're dying of heart disease. I only got a couple seconds left here. We'll be right back with Michael Moore, Hardball Plaza.